Alright, I thought I'd just let you check out the new Proleague intro video. But welcome everyone to the very first episode of Sparkyz cast. I'm bringing you the very first Sparkyz match that comes in the very first week of the 2009-2010 Shinhan Bank Proleague season. This game is going to be Leta for Sparkyz versus Hiya for Hwaseung Oz. And this is just going to be, I'm really excited about this first matchup. Leta has just been an absolute monster for the Sparkyz team, and I really expect him to continue that and just keep getting tons of wins for Sparkyz this season. First, a quick disclaimer, this is my first commentary ever, so I apologize in advance if it's a little rough around the edges. I promise it will get better as I practice. But the game is about to start, and so we're going to check out Leta versus Hiya, Sparkyz versus Oz, Week 1. And at the beginning we're going to see Leta here in the orange, spawning in the northeast position as a Terran. Hiya, of course, is a Terran as well. He is going to be red and in the southeast position. So Leta in orange, Hiya in red. And there we see Leta. Last season, Leta was tied for the most number of wins in the 2008-2009 Pro League season with Lee Jae-dong. Both of them had 41 wins over the course of that season. And Jae-dong actually had a couple more games to, pad onto that stat, just because they made it further into the playoffs. Sparkyz had an unfortunate playoff run, and lost in their first playoff match, getting eliminated immediately. Hwaseung Oz, though, brings it all the way down. Oh, look, and it looks like we're going to see some interesting cheese from Leta, or at the very least a proxy barracks. He might just end up using that for scouting purposes later on. But Leta definitely does like to play creative, so you never know when he's going to try to end the game early. Leta and Hiya are playing on, what is the name of this map? Fighting Spirit, which is one of the new maps for the 9-10 season. And honestly, I think I've watched one match on it so far. I don't really know much about it. So far it looks like there's been, I don't know, maybe 7 matches played on it. So hardly enough information to really say anything definitively about it, but there have been 3 TVTs out of those, which is somewhat surprising. So I guess they're seeing that something is a little bit favorable towards Terran on this map, but I don't really know what it is. Oh, and it looks like Hiya might scout out. No, he does not quite scout out that barracks by Leta. I wonder if he's going to bring it around. I doubt it. He just goes for a cross-position scout first. I think mainly so that he could go across the middle of the map and check for cheese. Leta does a good job of hiding it, though. As I was saying, this map, I think what the problem is for other races is just the distance to the third expansion base. The map features, a main base starting up on high ground. It leads down with a narrow ramp into the natural expansion. Just past the natural expansion is those wide bridges that you just saw a minute ago. And the third expansion is actually pretty far away. You don't have to cross the bridges to get to it, but it is a long resupply route from the main into some early. Okay, so from that early barracks in the forward position by Leta, he's moving up and trying to do some damage with his initial Marines, but he's not been able to do anything so far. Hiya is able to completely just control this map and defend against those early Marines. I don't think he saw it, but still very good defense. And Leta is actually forced to lift that barracks, and he's going to bring it back to his base. He's going to work on setting up defense, putting down his first factory now, which is quite late compared to Hiya's. Hiya, without having to do that forward barracks and without spending all that extra money on Marines, well, I guess he did end up spending a lot of money on Marines, but without doing that forward barracks, is able to get his tech out a little bit earlier. So Leta might have a little bit of catching up to do, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem for him, I don't think. Since this is the first episode of Sparkyz Cast, I want to throw some shoutouts out there, just to kind of show some respect for other commentators that build. Right now, we've got Hiya trying to push the ramp, but he loses all of his Marines to Leta's defense. So Leta holds very nicely and pushes Hiya back, so Hiya's not going to be able to capitalize right away on this. Sorry, but like I was saying, I want to give some shoutouts, and in this first episode I want to give a big shout out to sc2gg.com. It's a great website for information about StarCraft, about the pro scene, about Proleague. They have amazing write-ups, and it's a really great community of people that just love StarCraft and love the pro scene. So definitely check out sc2gg.com. Right now we're going to see Hiya pushing again with a couple of vultures, and still only a couple of 3 Marines on the ramp for Leta. Leta sent out 1 vulture of his own, and he is going to be able to chase away that vulture harassment by Hiya. sc2gg.com, once again, check it out. Also on their front page they link to a number of other commentators where you can find lots of really great, excellent commentary on a lot of different StarCraft matches. In particular, I just want to shout out to the big names: Klazart, Diggity, Mole Trap, Cholera, and Rise. I watch those guys whenever they release new vids, and you know, they're part of the reason that inspired me to start Sparkyz Cast. So big thanks to them. Right now we see Hiya building an armory, but Leta has already got down a starport and is sending out the first Wraith to go and try to do some harassment, make up for some of this economic deficit that he's in. Hiya's been able to expand at his natural expansion, and that is up and running. But there's now a Wraith by Leta harassing that expansion. Leta just now putting down his expansion, so almost, I would say, about 2 minutes behind on that expansion. He's going to be pretty far behind economically, but this Wraith is going to try to even the score. It's already got 2 kills. A second Wraith is coming down right now. On the other hand, Hiya has a nice scout with his barracks, so he's going to see... Oh wow, Cloak coming up right as that Goliath comes and tries to force out the Wraith, so that Wraith is going to be able to stand in there for a little bit longer. The first Comstat station for Hiya is being built right now, but this is just an excellent harass by Leta. Already 5 kills with that Wraith. The other one is out there in force trying to help him out. 6 kills now, but he's going to have to flee. He doesn't have the energy. Or maybe he does have the energy, but yeah, it looks like Hiya now has some comstats, so he's going to be able to detect these cloaked Wraiths. Still picking off kills. This is just absolutely great play by Leta. I love watching his Wraith harass. He's just so good at keeping those Wraiths alive and doing the maximum amount of damage you could possibly do with them. One of the best in the world, I would say, at Wraith harassment. But right now, Hiya's built up a pretty sizable force. He's got a couple tanks, he's got a good number of Goliaths, and a couple of vultures to go along with that. And he's going to go and try to put some pressure on the front door of Leta. Leta is setting up some defense on his ramp. But right now, I'm going to take a quick break to split this video, and we'll see you in the next part.